Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Bitcoin above 47k, it seems to hold that level. There has not been a strong rejection or anything. And yeah, the daily candle closed above the 45.8k level. The weekly candle closed above the 45.8k level. And yeah, I still get, now I get some messages. Could this just be a fake out? I mean, of course it could be just a fake out. But you don't really get much more confirmation. I mean, you can't really get much more confirmation than a daily candle close and a weekly candle close above an important resistance level. And this, in my opinion, has now, and I said that over the last few weeks, this has now really been the decision where the bulls are do want to go to, or the decision between the bulls and the bears has been made, that now further increases will happen, in my opinion, into this region up here between 55 and 65k. That is based on Fibonacci retracement levels of a wave B. This now should take us into that region up there in green. Again, Fibonacci levels will tell us where the price is going to go. This is in this region here. You can see these three Fibonacci levels between the 61.8% Fibonacci level at 55.6k. That is the, in my opinion, most likely one where the price could head. I mean, I could even make that target area a little bit larger, because the first level it definitely needs to reach in this scenario now is the 51.5k level. That's the 50% Fibonacci retracement. That is what a wave B should do, absolutely, as a minimum. But the most likely one would be that 55.6. Yes, it could also, and we only know when when we see the price is reaching these resistance levels, only then we can make a call and say, right, it looks like it's going to get higher or not. I think it should go higher than 51k, so 55.6 would be a likely one. Then we've got the 61.5k and the 65k. That's the 88.7% fib level. Could it go to the all-time high? Yes, in that scenario it could also go to the all-time high. If we break the all-time high, only then I think that we also that we have a sustainable breakout. Before that, you just don't know it. We have to go with probabilities, and before we break the all-time high, the primary scenario now has to be that we go into this area and then come down once more, because this is just the most likely scenario. And again, I don't know if the most likely one will work out and will really happen, because I'm not a prophet, right? But it's all probabilities. And why does it need to happen? Because I had a few questions again. Why do I think we have to come lower again? Well, I think we have to go lower because, first of all, on the monthly MACD, we still have a deeply, deeply red MACD. That is one thing. That normally would not support new all-time highs, but that's only one factor. The other factor is that we have not, in a very clean way, completed the correction here. You see the wave A, B, and the wave C. The wave C has not been completed properly, so normally the wave C would have to come below the wave A. Yes, I know, of course, there are other Elliott wave patterns where you can assume the low is already in, a so-called running flat, but as I said before, the running flat is one of the rarest patterns at all. So and then also in such a higher degree wave correction, it typically does not occur. So again, it's all about probabilities, okay? But because we're not stupid, we want to be prepared for both scenarios. There's two things that we did on this channel, and I made you aware. I did start to buy Bitcoin below 40k. That was the first thing I did, just to be on the safe side in case we should go up. And of course, I made you aware, dollar cost averaging in below 40k, and also opened a separate long position now that the decision has been made above 45.8k. I told you yesterday that if we break that level and get a retest, and we had a retest on the hourly of that level, that this will then be the decision. And on top of that, we had the close on the daily and the weekly. I mean, I opened that long position before that, but said that is of course risky, because as long as we don't have the daily candle close, we could still easily drop below it. But it has happened, it did hold, and in the end, it seems to me now that we are going higher as well. And that pretty much is what I do expect for Bitcoin now. In terms of how does this now look in terms of the wave count. And by the way, this is now actually exactly what happens now. is actually the former primary scenario. Everybody who's been with me when we actually started to talk about the upcoming correction in November will know that I originally talked about this pattern of an A, B, C, yeah, where I assumed that after the low here in December, on the 4th of December, we would see a more significant wave B to the upside, potentially all the way up to the all-time high again, before we see that correction down. Now, that didn't happen at the time. The alternative scenario worked out, which was the immediate sell-off. Also here, my primary scenario back then was that we first see a move up and then come down. Again, we already talked about that target area back then. But what happened? The market decided to sell off straight away. But what we see now, I think now we see this scenario that was previously the primary scenario. It didn't work out, but I think it has just moved around and basically is happening now. So you see this B wave now, which is basically a bit of a fake out to the upside, yeah. And then you will come down in a wave C. In detail now, how does that look? So I will relabel the chart here because this is not anymore now a wave 4. We will have to assume that the 5 waves in a wave A have happened here. Now what we're doing is that wave B, again the wave B consists of an ABC. It's a bit more of a complex correction. So you've got your W, your W, X, and then your Y. And I can talk about that in a little bit more detail in the next videos. But basically what you have is you got your wave A here. This is a wave B, and this will be a wave C, yeah. And this C wave will go into this region here before you then come down, in my opinion. But I'll label that properly for the next video. And yeah, so far the alternative scenario seems now to be playing out. There is a very important resistance level here, which is at 48k. But I think the price will now go through it. This is the 200-day moving average. That will be another confirmation for further price increases for Bitcoin. Last time we broke here above that 200-day moving average. After that correction back in October, I mean, we broke here as well, but this was in a downtrend. But last time we broke it here, we moved to new all-time highs. Again, I don't think we are going to get these new all-time highs now, but we are now going to go into this green target area, and that has to remain my primary expectation for now. Looking forward to these next few weeks in which this will happen. And overall, I mean, it has its good sides, it has its bad sides. In my opinion, it will just extend that whole correction in which we are in. In my opinion, a lot of people will get burned in this move up. On this channel, I will try to give my best here to keep you updated, and hopefully that will allow you to make the best decisions for yourselves. What I still have some open positions that I actually wanted to get out of. That obviously in the correction I didn't, so this will be an opportunity to close some of these open positions, possibly even in profit, that I'm not very happy about. So I'm going to do that. I will of course make you aware, and also for channel members I will update my sell orders at a later point today. Haven't had time yet, but I will do that later today, and then publish the latest version on Discord, and that will assume also for altcoins will show you where I will take profits, because I do assume there will be another dip afterwards. And if there is no other dip, then I'm going to wait for the next entry, but there will be one in my opinion. And again, we can only maneuver this space with probabilities. Okay, so that's my view here currently about Bitcoin. Hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.